Okay, so I finished recording the video, but I realized that I did not mention something that's special about today. Even though we hit 2 weeks, that is not the most special thing today. Today is Pi Day because it is the 14th of March, and if you use the American metric system, you get 3/14/26, which is Pi Day. So happy Pi Day, and continue and complete the integral today. We started U substitution, so watch that. Bye bye. Okay guys, welcome to day 14 for integrating, and as you can see the setup today is a little bit different because I have a very big surprise, and I mean that literally because CBC didn't release the board circular, so I figured might as well just start using the bigger whiteboard. So for the first time in the last 14 days we have a bigger whiteboard. That used to be the smaller one, now we have the bigger one, so we should be able to integrate a lot more conveniently and a lot faster. So we are finished with the basic trig identities. So I'm going to start off with a concept which is surprisingly simpler. Means it is one of the crucial it is one of the crucial things to know in integration. So we're going to start off with it. So today we're going to integrate x by 1 plus x square. Okay, let's do 2x by 1 plus x square dx. Now this is where our first property, which we learned I think on day 2, comes into play, which is f dash of x by f of x. The integral of this is equal to ln f of x plus or minus c. Now the crux of that integral is this, it's interrelated. Now suppose you take this part as u. Imagine you take the denominator as u, 1 plus x squared, assume it. So if you differentiate u with respect to x, differentiate u with respect to x, you get du by dx is equal to the derivative of 1, which is 0, and the derivative of 2x, which we know according to the power rule is 2x. Now you get this, and now if you do du and you cross multiply, you get 2x dx. Now this is basically u substitution. You take the denominator, which is more often than not the u, and you differentiate it, and if you look, we got du is equal to 2x dx. Now if you look at the original integral, you can see that the numerator is 2x dx. So in a simpler way, if we were to integrate this with respect to u instead of x, we would get the integral as du, because 2x dx is du, 2x dx is du by u, because we assumed 1 plus x squared would be u. So this u dotted line comes to the denominator, and since we derivated du with respect to x, we get du, which is the numerator. So this basically becomes this, because imagine this is our function, okay? 1 plus x squared, let me do this with the blue marker. If we imagine f of x is equal to 1 plus x squared, f dash of x becomes 2x. So it becomes here the integral to f dash of x by f of x, which at the end of the day is same to this. So this property and u substitution are actually pretty compatible. They're the same thing in just different terms. So now that we've gotten this integral, we can rewrite it as the integral of 1 by u with respect to du. And I think on day 3 or 4 we learned that the integral of 1 by x dx is just ln of x plus or minus c. So here we have the same thing. So we just end up with ln of u plus or minus c. Now since this was our original question and we assumed u to be 1 plus x squared, this is not the final answer. You have to substitute u back into this. So you get ln of 1 plus x squared plus or minus c. So the integral of this ends up being this. So that's basically the concept of u substitution. You take a function which normally is the denominator, usually, as u or any variable, and then you differentiate that equation with respect to x. Then you figure out what the numerator is in terms of the variable you assume. So here du by dx became 2x, so du became 2x dx, which is the numerator. So again, more often than not, the denominator is u and the numerator is du. So that is how u substitution works. Now this I'll probably solve tomorrow, but imagine there was no 2x here, it was just x. Then du by 2 would become x dx, which would be the numerator. So you would get a 1 by 2 outside of the bracket. Because 1 by 2 is a constant, the integral does not really affect it that much. So that is basically the concept of u substitution. I hope it was clear enough, but we will do u substitution for a week or two now, because this is a very important concept. So big whiteboard, Bozo's still here, Dolphin's still here. The gun broke, so I couldn't keep the gun. And yes, that was day 14 of integration. We have it 2 weeks, and I have 986 days more to go. So I am excited for that, and I will see you on day 15 tomorrow, where we'll hit half of a month. So good night. That was u substitution. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.